Oh, hello internet. This is Prince from Desi Programmer and welcome to this new, not a tutorial, kind of a log video where we are going to upgrade a password manager project. So for those of you who don't remember, if you scroll down here somewhere you will see this simple video which was for the password manager. So this was a very old video which I did and it had three screens. I mean it wasn't very amazing, but if you actually take a look at it, this had a screen for password. We were storing your passwords and that's pretty much it. So this video, I mean this was not secure at all, obviously. Now the complete intent at this point was just to so bit little bit of a UI, store the data in a database, and of course some of you also say that, hey, can this be secure? And I was like, well, no, it's not, and that's why we are going to upgrade this project to a more secure version where you can actually rely on this to store your passwords. So that's what we're going to do in this video, and my plans for upgrading the password manager is pretty simple. So I'm going to put up in different security layers. As of now, I have thought of 3 security layers, and trust me, I think they will be enough to make sure that the data is saved. It will be more secure than storing database on any website server. So the first layer of security will be local bio authentication. So earlier we were using our own passwords, storing that and all will be a lot more difficult, and this is really good way, only if you have your phone in your hand, only then you can use this. And also we are not using pin and password, so we need your bio auth, the fingerprint, and I think phase 2 will work. So if you have both of them, this will work. This is a pretty secure layer, and on top of that I've also made sure that when you're using local bio auth, and let's say you just press the home screen or send your app to recent apps, the app instance will be cleared. So if you open it up again, you will have to re-authenticate yourself. That's pretty good, right? The next thing is encrypted password. So if you enter a password, instead of directly storing it as a string, I mean that obviously is not a good way. We will encrypt the string and we will store it. Now here's something that I want to say. I mean, I have got these questions quite sometimes where people say that, hey, I want to encrypt a value and put it so that I can decrypt it. Now remember, the difference between encryption, decryption, and hashing, which we normally use in servers, is that encryption is a two-way function. So an encrypted value can be decrypted with a proper key. But hashing, which we normally use on servers, that's a one-way function. So basically it takes a text and then creates a unique test. Okay. So now that designed algorithm is in such a way that you cannot reverse the hashing process. You can't get the original value. You can only compare it, and that's obviously good for server because you don't want admins to take a look at your password. Only you enter a value and it's compared. If the comparison is correct, you get enter. But here the thing is different. We want to store the value and then we want to decrypt it. So that's what we are going to do, encrypt and decrypt a string. And last but not the least, I also want to use encrypted storage. Now, since I'm going to use local storage, that's why I'm talking about encrypted storage. I mean, if you're planning to use Firebase or your own custom storage, then you may not worry much about storing encrypted values. But since I'm using local database, it's more vulnerable to attack. That's why we are going to store use an encrypted database, which is from Hive. So let's deep dive into this video and let's see what have we got. Well, as you can see, this is what I have as of now. If I do a hot restart when the app launches, so if the user hasn't set any kind of pin or fingerprint authentication, I'll put this simple error which says you need any of this to make sure that the app works. Since we're completely relying on the device's authentication, we can't enforce it, so we will just show this simple error which says you need to set it up. And now that I have set up pin and fingerprint authentication, as you can see, if I just use this to touch the sensor, okay, I have to click on try again. And now if I touch the sensor, I will be authenticated. And now this is the screen where I'm going to give user an option to put data, and that's how we move. Well, so that was our first level of security, where we have this local authentication, which will work only with fingerprint. I have even eradicated the pin part. And not just that, it also works on a single instance basis. So basically, let's say you verified your app right now, and then you press the home button. Now, when you go back to your app, you have to re-verify it again. It won't just be open from the home screen. Also, if you press this button, the app will just disappear. It won't stay here. So that's two things here, which is secure at the first level itself. Now, having done that, in the next level, we have not the second, in the third level, just as I said, we will having encrypted database storage. So here we are using Hive's encryption. This is basically most of the code that I just copied from there. So first of all, we are using Flutter Secure storage to store a single key, which is encryption key. And then we are using that encryption key to create an encrypted box, not a normal box. So this is our third level of encryption, where we are going to put data in encrypted form. But in between them, we also have a second level of encryption where we are going to encrypt the string value. And also they won't be visible. You can copy it, or maybe I should make it visible. As of now, I just want to make sure that user can just click on the copy icon, and that will copy the password to their clipboard, and then they can paste it anywhere.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne.
Well, so after spending nearly about 2 hours, this is what we have as of now. So if I restart the application, you can look at this. This is the first level of security that I wanted to implement, and that's local bio auth. I've also removed the pin part. Basically, if you have any kind of password or a pin, you will get an option to use that too. But I've removed it. You can just put it on simply. We'll touch the sensor, and now this is what we get. This is our simple password screen. These are the passwords that I have saved, and I don't think the UI looks very great as of now, but that's completely okay. If you want to grab any password, you can just click on the copy button, and this will copy the password for you. If I just put it here, you can see that this is the password that I entered, and now this has been copied. So first level of security was that. The second level of security, the second level of security is this one, which you can see in the console itself. So the password is encrypted. And now basically, even if you don't want to use a local database, if you want to use something like Firebase or any other database, if you want to put it as a project, so you can just grab this value and put it there. Basically, that too will be very safe. It's not a problem. And our third level security, just as I said, I mean, since we're using a local database, that's kind of, I know people say that, hey, this is a local database, you people can grab the database and then they can use it to do all kind of stuff like break it. Well, that too is not true here. As you can see, this is what we're using. We're using an encrypted box. Okay, this is an encrypted box. So basically, the database itself will be encrypted. So an encrypted database is storing encrypted values. That is pretty safe, obviously. And even if you want to access it, then you have to go through bio authentication on device. And by the way, if you don't have bio auth enabled for your emulator or for your phone, it will tell you, give you a prompt that, hey, you need to enable bio auth or authentication of this type. Otherwise, you can't use the application. Also, this is what we have in the project. I mean, there are a couple of things that I still want to implement, and I want to format the code better and all. Right now, it's just anything anywhere, like all these values which are not being used, they are still present. I will push it as it is. I will do this later on. But yeah, that's what we have. I just wanted to upgrade the project to a better version, and that's what we have as of now. So let's see if we do a complete end-to-end tutorial on this or not. Let me know if you want that. But till then, keep coding, keep loving, keep shading, and peace.